Welcome to Talking Grit, a Detroit Lions podcast. Powered by the Monroe County Reporters. Here are your hosts, Jason Harwood and Jacob Litton.
Welcome to Talking Grit, part of the Believe Podcast Network. I am Jason Harwood, alongside my buddy Jacob Litton. We have an awesome guest today. He is a returning guest. He's really like the third man on our show. We would have him on more often if the time difference wasn't there. But we appreciate it. It's really late for our guests. You know him from the Roar, the Lions UK podcast, trivia master, whatever else superlative you want to put on this guy. It's Ash Soden. Ash, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Obviously excited that, we're 1-1 in the preseason. Means we're going to go undefeated for the rest of the season now. We've got that first win under the column.
Yeah, it felt good. Being at the stadium felt really good. I got to see it live, and it was just nice being back at Ford Field and not having to kick field goals.
Right. Hey, I looked for tickets. As soon as I looked for tickets, my wife informed me that we actually had a birthday party to go to that day. So I was close to being there with Jason and being able to watch the game. And I ended up not even being able to watch the second half on TV because we were at a birthday party at this bounce house that Wi-Fi did not work. So
I told him that he's not allowed to do that anymore because I'm trying to text him. Like, we'll text during the game just to like, hey, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? And it was a one-way text. Jacob was absent for most of the time.
Wasn't even getting them. Yeah.
No, he was ghosting me. So Austin Damon showed up. He says, sup guys, sup Ash. So you got a fan there. Austin, I know he's been on your show. I think he followed a question after I did one time. So thanks for joining us, Austin. I want to let everyone know, first of all, it's Monday and we are going live. POD is not, claiming Monday this week. So we took it back from them. No, they went on Saturday, and I have my son's tennis match, so we decided to go Monday, and that's also when Ash was available, so it kind of all just worked out. But I want to tell everybody on Thursday, we got a special NFC roundtable. Ash, we need you in the chat for this one if you can, because it's going to be a representative from all the teams in the NFC North, and we're going to battle it out and have a good time. I think it should be fun, and I get to meet some of the hosts from podcasts and Believe, like Larry Dyer and Joey. I have not met from the Packers, Believe in Packers. So, but Arif's going to be on. We met him, and we know he knows his stuff. So I'm excited about that. And then also on Saturday, Jacob and I will be going live at Sumped. We have not set a time yet, but we're going to do our 53-man prediction. And also just kind of review preseason game number 3. I'm not expecting much to talk about from the game because it's, I don't think anybody that's going to start is probably going to play really much at all. We'll see, but it's different every year. But I just don't think they're going to do anything like that. So if you're thinking, that's weird that they're doing the 53-man roster cut down on Sunday. Yes, it is. And it sucks because it like smushed everything together. So the rosters had to be down by 53-man on by 6 p.m. Sunday. So that night you'll know. Everyone's then go to waivers that is subject to waivers. Certain veterans are not, just depending on how much they've accrued. And then you will know if any of those were claimed by 1 o'clock on Monday. And then after that, practice squads can start to be formulated, and that'll be done by that could begin at 6 p.m. on Monday. So we'll start to get some announcements then. So lots of stuff going on. Keep an eye on us for Twitter for updates and thoughts, of how everything's going on.
I'm actually a fan of moving it up. I actually prefer it because usually I think they said last year it was like on the Tuesday after.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple days. You're kind of waiting for a few days. Most of these teams have a pretty good idea of what they want. Any last minute decision that's going to be made could be made, a few days before then. It's not like you necessarily need to sleep on too many guys like that.
Ash probably doesn't like it that it's 6 p.m. So what's that? That puts it right at midnight. So I guess that's not too bad for you. So hopefully it releases pretty quick.
Well, that's when the practice squad happens, right?
Well, on Sunday, Sunday
you
get the
6 p.m. on Sunday.
You get the 53. You get the 53 on Sunday. So
most of that'll be before then. A few last minute people.
We'll see.
True.
Those are
Um,
usually the people you're hanging on, though, right? The bubble players. That's who you want to know whether
Yeah.
they made it or not, and that's always going to be the last people you hear.
True. But we always stay up for it anyway. I think it's me and Ant this year going to be doing the live reaction to it. So that's going to be fun when, I've got my heart set and Eric Hunter making it. And then, of course, I get the Brewster news. It's going to probably be cut and going to the practice squad. But we will have our commiserations there. We will drink one in his honor and then wait for him to get practice squadded on Monday.
Well, you also have like nail biting for the next 24 hours to see if he made it, make sure he didn't get scooped up by anyone else. I mean, majority of the time they don't, but Sterling Thomas is a good example of a guy that we wanted to get back on the practice squad that didn't quite make it. Nowaski too. I mean, he wasn't on the 53. He got cut, but he got picked up. I think he got picked up in the middle of the season. I can't remember the timeline.
Yeah, by cards.
Yeah, and then we got him back. So, Jacob, few transactions. Why don't you get everybody caught up with? These were announced earlier today.
All right, we put 2 more people on IR. Another running back. Raheem Blackshear goes on injured reserve. Also, wide receiver Cedric Wilson. In their place, we signed another running back, Roydell Williams, undrafted free agent, played for Florida State and Alabama. It's funny because we just signed him, and he's probably going to be getting quite a few carries in the last preseason game. Can't body, just somebody that's there for now. Last-ditch effort to show what he has, and then also signed a defensive back, Jason Taylor, which I actually did not see myself, so I don't have in front of me. I'm not sure what school he came from. Is that another undrafted free agent, or is this guy veteran?
No, he was drafted a while ago, like 7th rounder, I think. Oklahoma
2023
State is Oklahoma State, correct? Yep. See, what
team did he play
Jacob.
from?
That I don't remember. Do you
so
got
you
that?
you don't read that well, do you?
No.
So he
Eat those
was
words.
most recent. He was with the Orlando Storm in this past UFL season. Played a few games for there, but before that, he was on Kansas City's off-season squad 2025. Before that, the Cardinals, another Cardinals crossover. But yeah, he was drafted by the Rams in 2023. Stuck around there for a couple of years. Mostly a special teamer. Did make a couple of game appearances, mostly on special teams. Single high style safety. Notably, the 5th guy we've got from 2019-2020 Oklahoma State. We've got Thomas Harper there as well, Malcolm, Tyler Lacey, Omen as well as from there. We seemingly love those Cowboys.
Yeah, they're probably their work ethic down there, right? I mean, Cedric Wilson had till the pads come on was showing out, veteran. I think he's a guy that you definitely want on the practice squad, a veteran guy that, if someone gets injured, you could bring him up on game day. At this point, I don't think he was fighting for any active roster. I know early on he was. Raheem Blackshear was interesting to me because, we just picked him up because of the injury. Was that to Robichaux? I think we picked him up. I think that was the timeline. And then, he played really well in the preseason game. He was running really well. So he was showing out. It's too bad he got injured. I don't think he was fighting for any part of the active roster, but he might have scooted through the practice squad. But based on who he's playing. I do have a question for both of you, though. I just talked about how we're not going to have any starters play on Saturday. Do you think Sione Vaki, because he didn't play on last Saturday, do you think he gets run if he's healthy? Ash, we'll start with you.
Yes, because as much as I know he's a special teams demon, he's got all that down. We know he's Eric's secret love child. Obviously, they love each other. Still to each other at camp. I'm just so jealous because, to bury the lead for later, he is a candidate for a certain thing that's coming out tomorrow for me. But we know a lot of the fan base is like, well, it's all well and good. He's a special teamer, but we traded up for him. We need to see him actually be a running back. And we haven't really seen that aside from last preseason where he had that one drive where he just caught ball after ball and basically dominated the drive. We haven't actually seen him do the running back stuff. And it seems based on his play this preseason, Jacob Sellers might actually be the RB3 in terms of touches on offense, while Vark is RB3 in terms of actual snaps on the team. Nice to actually see him tote the ball a bit, see if he's got that power that we're looking for that the other running backs we have signed to the roster don't really have, except for Roydell Williams, which I know all too well about, playing for Florida State. But yeah, I wanted to see him get at least a couple of drive or two just to see what we got there. But if he's healthy enough, because I know obviously he's still got the orbital fracture that might affect his vision. He said it's blurry, wasn't it, last week? So if he's healthy enough to do it, then yeah.
What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, that's the key thing for me is it just doesn't seem like he's ever fully healthy enough. So because he's still battling the eye and, he had the back thing flare up on him, so he missed the last preseason game, I am fine with just letting Vaki sit and hopefully get, a little bit extra recovery before the regular season happens. And part of that is because I think that Sailors has proved that he can be the backup running back. If we need a running back in a pinch, Sailor is able to carry the ball. Vaki, we need on special teams. That seems to be his forte. That's just going to is what it is. Now, if Vaki's healthy, I know that Vaki probably wants to get out there and wants to get some carries and prove himself as a running back. I just don't feel like it's necessary right now with his injury history and the fact he's already going through it and the season hasn't even started yet. I'd rather just let him sit out for, the rest, let him practice and everything. It's not necessary for him to play in the preseason game and risk further injury. And this guy gets hurt every other day. I mean, he just cannot, and it's always something different. It's never like, just, a nagging hamstring. Like, well, it has been, but it's not just that. The eye thing was just the icing on the cake. I was like, my God, this, wrap him in bubble wrap, give him the visor, everything that he, like, whatever you can do. And I feel bad for him. The dude plays the right way, and he's looked good when he's out there and when he's healthy. It's just been so little. So that's why I'd be okay with him playing, but I would understand if we just decided to play it safe and just let him sit that one out. What are your thoughts, Jason?
I'm on the fence on this. I think I want him to play because I think he just needs some reps in there. I don't think he needs to play extensive, but I wouldn't mind a drive or two just to give him. I just want to see. It's probably selfish on my part. I just want to see what he's got on the field. Like, I think you're talking about the Kansas City preseason game that he played. I think that was the one where he kept getting like passes out of the backfield, and you're like, oh, yeah, this guy's a little shifty. He can make people miss, and we just haven't had a chance to see it yet. So I guess I don't have super strong feelings either way. But if it's my personal choice, I'd want to see him get out there for a drive and just kind of see what he got. I think that, Campbell's even said that he just needs reps in that position. Let me ask you this though. Because I think Ash, you might have said it. Do you think Sailors, because Campbell said flat out that Vaki is RB3, and then, it's implied that now that Sailors is RB4. Do you think that, I mean, that really doesn't mean anything because you could have on game day, just switch them up because they're probably both going to be active because they're both very good special teamers and they're going to be active for that. Do you think that that's true that Sailors is RB3 and Vaki is RB4 because of the injury stuff going on, or what's your opinion on that?
I think so, yeah, because as I said, I think Vaki, if you look back at the end of this season, so long as they both stay healthy, he'll probably play more snaps overall because you've got the sprinkling of snaps he'll get on offense, but he plays every phase of special teams, so he'll get bumped up with that. If something happened, obviously touch wood it doesn't, but if anything happens to Gibbs and we need one of them to take over the load for the rest of the game, I think we're turning to Sailors before we turn to Vaki because we actually know what he can do on offense. Like, we've seen him tote the ball in gap, seen him take stretches to the outside, we've seen him take outside zone, we've seen him receive the ball with Vaki, we've seen him receive the ball in that Kansas City game, but the actual running the ball bit, we don't know. So if we have to turn to a running back in a game, it'll be Sailors before Vaki for me. So at least on offense, Sailors has overtaken Vaki.
Where you agree, Jacob?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, based on what we've seen, I think that that's very clear that Sailors is over top of Vaki because he's been out there, he's been making the plays, and he showed that he's capable. But with that being said, with Dan Campbell saying that Vaki's RB3, he's been around Vaki for a few years. He's seen all these closed door practices and seen what Vaki's got, and maybe that's why, he's showing him a little more support. We've only got the preseason games and the limited sample size to go off of, and Vaki hasn't been out there, and Sailors has looked pretty good, right? Sailors has been probably one of the best offensive players that we've had just in the preseason, which isn't necessarily saying much, but I think he's earned his spot. So that would maybe be a toss-up. Like Ash said, hopefully, knock on wood, there's not a situation where we have to be relying on either one of them to have too many meaningful carries in a game, because I don't know whose number you would call first. But based on what we've seen, I would assume that Sailors should have been in the lead.
Does it matter? Let's say it doesn't matter to you if Pacheco got hurt or Gibbs got hurt. Who would be? Because I would say the Vaki's probably closer to Gibbs, and Sailor would be closer to Pacheco. So I don't know if that, like if it's Pacheco that gets injured, would it matter to you? The
Not
style of
really.
runner.
I
No.
guess if you're saying that, I think that both of them are closer to Pacheco than they are to Gibbs. I don't
Yeah.
think that they're going to have that sort of electric, running capability.
Yeah, I just think Baki's. I think Baki's a little shiftier than Sailor's. Sailor's is one cut and go, which I appreciate. Like he's
Right.
he's done. It's interesting because we had a conversation last year about Jacob Sailor's overtaking Craig Reynolds, and both Jacob and I were like, no way. We like Craig, but I think at some point during the season, Sailor's overtook. Obviously, he did because we cut Craig. And then Sailor's been nothing but more impressive running the ball this offseason than he was last year. So I don't know. I'm happy with having Sailor, so I think he's good. RB3, RB4. I think our running back depth, I'm pretty happy with it.
Right.
All right. Ash, going to start with you. We're going to go to Saturday's game here. What's the biggest thing or something that you learned from the game on Saturday? Or got
We're going to be
We're
going to be a lot more exotic with how we do the pressures. Like last year, we didn't really do many stunts and twists. The amount of stunts and twists we did, even in a preseason game, which is supposed to be very vanilla with, was illuminating because that's what as I said, we struggled with. Didn't really do it. We didn't really manufacture pressure. We had Devin White blitzing on the first proper defensive snap of the game to force a throwaway. You had Malcolm creeping down from Will to Sam to rush the passer. You had twists with Hassanin going inside on the limited snaps he did. Even had where Bonham had his sack. It was a twist from the end spot into the tackle, going through the A gap, got the sack. Be more exotic with it because as much as we've got Aiden Hutchinson and he's going to wreck games, we can't count on a fluky season like we had Al Kaheem last season. So being able to generate that pressure through getting matchups, using stunts, twists, and blitzes, will hopefully mean we can speed up the process for quarterbacks and whoever's in the backfield, be it DJ Reed, Nick Whiteside, Isian, etc., won't have to cover for 5 seconds like they had to last year.
Where you at, Jacob? What'd you learn?
I had the same one. I'm not going to go too in depth because Ash did a pretty good job with that, but he's right. All the different exotic looks, the stunts, the different things we were trying to do really open up space for these blitzes and the different things that we were doing. And honestly, it made me very excited for the season because these were some of the backups that were out there. Hutch wasn't out there. Aleem wasn't out there. We've seen them in practice just absolutely destroy the offensive line just in one-on-one situations. So when you talk about mixing it up and using different looks like that, to bring the linebackers, to bring the safeties, I'm, very excited for the defensive line based on what we saw there. But I'll skip just something else that we learned that we probably already knew, but I think this confirmed it. And that's if Goff does get hurt, I think that we're screwed with the current state of things we have right now. And we've said that before, even like with the whole division and everything, is that most teams are outside of the division, just in general, most teams are going to be in trouble when their starting quarterback got hurt. But last year in the preseason, like with Kyle Allen, I was you're never okay if Goff gets hurt, but I had more confidence that if something happened and we needed him for a game, he was going to be able to move the offense and utilize the weapons and do what he had to do. And Dobbs did not look great. Altmaier's actually, I think, outplayed Dobbs. He's looked better, but he's also had a lot more time in the system where Dobbs hasn't. I think that Dobbs showed us exactly what would happen the regular season if he was out there. Like he has the first drive, gets smoked, sack fumble. He has a terrible interception on a ball that should have never been thrown. Mm-hmm. And then he has a 50-yard run for a touchdown. And then he led another touchdown drive, which was nice. I go back and forth because if Dobbs really got out there, he's never played with Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams. He's never had the offensive weapons like that to play around with as a quarterback. So maybe he would do okay, but just based on what I've seen so far, I think it's backyard football and that we kind of are in a rough spot, and we'd have to rely on the defense a lot more than we normally have to.
All right. So I'm going to save my quarterback stuff for later on in the show, but I like where your head's at, Jacob. It's going to make a 3-way tie here because I learned that we are going to send pressure from, and it's really confirmed what we saw in practice everywhere. We're going to blitz. We're going to blitz a nickel back. We're going to blitz a cornerback. We're going to run stunts. You're not going to know where that pressure is going to come from. And I think we're more well built for this type, especially adding like Wanham. Derek Moore is going to be, that dude is a beast. It's he's going to cause some terror. Maybe not right away, but as he gets into the system, we start to utilize him in the best ways possible. I am really excited about it. I was sitting, so my seats are like in an end zone area, so when the defense is at my back, I could see the stunts really well. It's like having the all 22 view, and I could see. I was like, oh my god, last year it just felt like we're just running straight ahead. Like if we did run a stunt, it was not very effective. Like we were running all the way around, like from the edge. Like we weren't running in them properly, and it was just taking too long to get there. I think it's very encouraging that we got Jaden Daniels. I don't think we got a sack on him, but pretty much, almost put him in the ground. He forced some throwaways. He didn't do anything to us. And then, Joe Burrow. So number one offense, we're still able to get pressure, like Jacob said, without our starters in there. That's very, very encouraging. I really, and so I don't know if I really learned so much. It's mostly just confirming what I've seen. And I'm kind of surprised they're showing some of that stuff now. But, if you're good at it, then try to stop it. And we got the horses to do it. I can't wait to see Aiden running this. We got the NASCAR packages that we're going to be able to put together this year are crazy. And then, a guy that we like is Hassanin. Like, he helped Wanham get the sack by doing the stun and holding this guy off, and Wanham got around, but he didn't do the stat sheet. I think that's going to happen a lot this year, where you're just going to have some people doing the dirty work, and Hutch may be getting the sack, but it's Aleem McNeil that pushed his guy out of the way, so Hutch can come right behind him. I think we're going to it's going to be, you got to watch the all 22 to see, okay, this was a team sack and not just necessarily one person sack. So it was fun being there. The game started like in the worst way imaginable. You get like 14 seconds in, we're already down by 7 and we got the ball. We that's even worse. You got the kickoff and then you're down by, oh God. Like even in the stands, you could see that hit and it was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe he got up from that. I couldn't believe Dobbs got up from that. It was
a Meek bad. Of all people.
I know.
Yeah.
He's from the dirt. He's sending Dobbs back down to the dirt.
Yeah, good for a Meek.
Yeah. All right. Opinion time. I'll start with you on this one, Jacob. Who helped themselves the most in this game?
Help themselves the most. So we've kind of already talked about the defensive line. Just to shoot another name out there, Skylar Gill-Howard, another impressive performance. The motor, just willing to do the dirty work that we were just talking about. Think that he did really well. Miles Frazier, had a cleaner game. So I think he had the false start, but that was on McLaughlin, and McLaughlin did his own false start right after that too. Yeah. So not a great day for him. Starts. Yeah, but Miles Frazier had a cleaner game. I'll also just say for the tight ends, because we don't know exactly what's happening with Laporta, but Jackson Meeks and Tyler Conklin, while they did struggle in the blocking game, which is not anything that we're surprised by, they each caught a few passes. They were involved in the offense. Made me feel a little better. I think Brock Wright caught a ball too, but that's the thing that was missing when Laporta was hurt before, is that we just get no offensive output from the tight end. They're not catching passes. Any of the tight ends we had on the roster before. And now at least it feels like Conklin and Meeks are going to be able to catch some passes. Obviously, Meeks, a converted receiver. Now what you have to worry about with those two is blocking. So instead of having the blocking tight ends, we have the receiving tight ends. But I think they both helped their cause. Frazier, you already talked about Derek Moore and Skyler. Those are the people that I thought really had stock up in this game.
Where are you at, Ash?
Yeah, Meeks was my one as well. Like, it was a running joke on our podcast that I just had it out for Zane Silstra because he would always stick around, and all he would ever be is that tight end 4 who was a sort of F tight end where you can move him around and he'll do stuff on special teams, but that's all he ever was. He didn't have that upside, and yet he would always stick around, and we'd not try and move on from him. As much as that's what Meeks is right now, receiving tight end, does stuff on special teams because he was the guy that forced a fumble on the sort of one of the last plays of the game to make sure we got the ball back and we could basically run the clock out. He's got that upside to get better at the blocking, as much as, you know, he did give up a really bad sack. There's a reason he got a 9.3 pass blocking grade from PFF, but for someone who, 12 months ago was seen as an ex-receiver, did well in college, some people suspect we only signed him to try and sweeten up his uncle to come back. And, you know, now that uncle's gone to the Eagles, retired, tried out for a couple of teams, and now he's signing with the Falcons, I think. Like, for that, he's done really well. Same with Travion Williams, the guy who we picked up last week with, I think, with the Robichaud injury. I think it was him that we picked up from the former Bengal. You could see why he stuck around with them for a couple of years as that fourth running back. Did some stuff on special teams. He was one of the wings on the punt formations, and he was the best back on the day, especially that drive where he just carrying the ball. I think he got like 50 yards on one of our on the last drive and got the touchdown. That's someone who I know we can have 6 spots on the practice squad for veterans with limited eligibility. He might be that guy that goes onto the practice squad and is there if we need to call someone up because of a long-term injury. He can come in, step in at the bottom of the running back depth chart and tote the ball, but also do some stuff on special teams.
All right. I was going to go with Skylar Gill Harwood, and mine is some of it's play, but also how early he played. He was in the first quarter, I think. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he's moved that far up. Sometimes it's a measure of like, okay, we got to make sure he could stop the run. We got to put him in these situations. But I think he passed the test. Like, I mean, I think that he's definitely on the roster, and he is like going to be pushing for playing time at however they want to do it, like third down, like rush, because his get off is, I think that he is smaller and he can get pushed out of the play a little bit right now. We'll see with NFL training and the training staff, and by the next year he might have the body that's different. Wingo is a big loser in this because him and Gil Howard are, you know, essentially vying for that same style of play. Also, it's telling that Campbell talked about how he could feel him out there, which means that he's doing everything that he's making the plays that they wanted. So I think that's really, really telling. So I think it's Gil Howard. A minor candidate for this is, I think, Devin White. I think he just come out there. He does what they want him to do, and that is stuff the run, which is obviously really important for this coaching staff. And I think they have a running back that you could just count on to hit the right hole, a see ball, attack ball. And we're just going to have to use him in the right way. We don't want him too much in coverage. Play action pass may get him burned, but I also like the fact that I think he can rush the passer too, and I like having a little bit of that in there. So I think, you know, Devin White was out there early. I don't know how many snaps he got. I forgot to look, but I don't think it was terribly that much. But, you know, when he's out there, you're hearing his name called because he's around the ball. So I'm happy with that pickup. I did not think it was going to go this way for Devin White. I did not think he was going to get this much play early on, but he's pleasantly surprised me. I'm going to get to a couple comments here. WMW2 says that I don't have a marketing degree, but he said if you do, you would not call it the NASCAR package, but you would call it the Raptor package presented by Ford. Duh, that's a good one. So I like that one. We might have to hold on to that one. El Bente also says, hey, fellas, I too am very encouraged by the defensive plays. Nice to see the guys flying around. I think that's what Dan Campbell want, right? Young, hungry players or guys on one-year contracts that are going to be fighting for this, showing that grit, and they absolutely are. So hopefully we carry this through the season, because if our defense could be any sort top half of the league, then I'm feeling really good about where we're at.
Absolutely.
All right. Any other players that help themselves that either of you guys got?
Nope, not really.
Let's just give myself a pause because I need a break here. All right. Who hurt themselves in this one? We'll start with you, Ash. Does anybody hurt themselves in this game?
Borum, in so much that the first strip sack that was a comedy of errors, as much as Wright maybe should have done better blocking Amik on the check and release. The reason that Amik was able to get so free is because Borum just got beat off the snap so badly. And for someone who you rewind a couple of months was supposed to be our starting right tackle, and I know now he's kind of flipping between left and right tackle depending on stuff, but he was supposed to be that veteran steady presence that if anything happens to Panay, if anything happens to Blake, again, touch wood, it doesn't happen, he'd be able to step in and kind of stabilize the ship. That did not fill me with much happiness about it, especially since the Commanders, they don't have a good pass rush. You look at the guys they've got, no one's really blown your socks off. It's not like with the Bengals where they've got a couple of high upside guys on their squad. They don't really have anyone, and yet second snap of the game, you're getting beaten that badly. Kind of stuck down for me because, if I ever see him come into the game, it's panic stations for Goff.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's because he's at left tackle? He graded out better at right tackle. If God forbid Panay goes down, that's going to be dangerous. But do you think that that his play would be as bad if he was in at right tackle?
Probably not, because if that happened on the opposite side where Dobbs could see it, so not on his blind side, maybe we would have had a better outcome. Maybe you could have seen it coming, sidestepped it in the way that Goff usually does. I know they work a lot on pocket mechanics in training. We saw a bit of it with the inside the den with Goff. So hopefully he'll be able to either step it aside or tuck and run. So maybe it is that, but it's just that if he just have to step in at left tackle, it does mean we're probably going to have to give him the anti-Taylor Decker treatment in terms of always having a tackle on his tight end on his outside shoulder, which then takes away a passing option in the game in further downfield. Like Brock Wright, he was supposed to be, I think, the release there, but because Dobbs just got levered, he was able to get to the ball to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been Borum, absolutely just messing up the play, not knowing the play call and just blocking the wrong way and trying to make up for it at the end, or when it was already too late. But that was just a mess.
It was. Who do you got, Jacob?
So I've got a couple for this one too. We'll stick with the offensive line. Seth McLaughlin, the false starts, and just overall a poor showing. He really, for a short period of time, was in a true battle to try to see if he could pull that starting job from Juice Scruggs. And they kind of both were not playing very well. I think Juice has had better showings lately, and this kind of was the icing on the cake for Seth. I think that just really showed that he's not ready. And now I think you've fallen so far, if you're Seth McLaughlin, that now you may be on the outside of the roster, even though our center is hurt. They've got Tate practicing snapping the ball in case of emergency. Maybe they think that that's good enough that they can just cut ties with Seth, or just, at least maybe he's not going to be on the 53. He'll be on the practice squad just in case. But he had the opportunity right there, and he really fell flat. A couple more that I have. I'll just say I think both Whiteside and Abney both kind of came back to earth in this one. They both allowed quite a few catches. Abney gave up one that was on a huge third down play. Whiteside, I think his was one of the biggest gains that they had. And he just got beat. So both players had promising preseasons and training camp so far, but I just don't think that they helped themselves in this one. They kind of showed back to reality. They kind of just showed that they are young cornerbacks and these things could happen. The last one that I have was just Dominic Lovett, and this was not really necessary what he put out there, but he only got 14 snaps in, and it was right at the end of the game. He was in for 11 pass plays, and he was targeted once, one catch, I believe. I don't have that in front of me anymore, but I think he was targeted once, had one catch. In his main competition, Tay Martin played 31 snaps, Tay also did not do anything too crazy in the past game. He had more targets, but I think he only caught one ball. But he did help with that block when Dobbs scored that touchdown on the outside. And you've already got all the glowing reviews from the coaching staff about Tay Martin. So I think Lovett, I was looking forward to watching him play and trying to see what he had, and he really didn't even get the chance. Only 14 snaps. So now that's somebody I think in this next game that's probably going to be playing a whole lot, and it might be too little too late for him.
Yeah, so you kind of hit on some of the players. There's two that I'll add because I had some of the similar thoughts that you guys did, but I think Rakestraw did not have an especially strong showing after a strong week of practice. And I was hoping for a PBU or something like that, but he did get beat on a couple passes. He did, like, I don't know what they showed on the broadcast, but he did come up limp after a special teams play and like went to the sideline, was really stretching it out. And I was really scared that I was like, oh my God, I don't want him to just to pile, but he was back out there, which was good. So I think he felt the urgency, like I need to get back out there. Similar tone is Tesla. Tesla was out there, but didn't get anything thrown his way. Some of that was just situation, but you were hoping that he's gonna, get so open, create enough space that he's gonna create his own opportunities, and that just didn't happen. So it wasn't like, I guess I said who hurt themselves the most. I think Rakestraw hurt himself more than Tesla. I think it was just both of them had a very strong week of practice, and you wanted them to stack those days to go into the next week of practice and just build on that, and it just didn't happen. I think Abney really showed, like, what I had been talking about a lot. He's a rookie and he's very handsy. He got the, Justin Rogers talks about it like all the time in his things. He's learning not to use his hands, and I think he got caught with the pass interference. I mean, that catch that he let up that he got pass interference with, that was amazing. That was an amazing stab. But it was mostly because Abney was holding the other arm down, so the guy couldn't get the other hand up. But I was hoping, even I didn't really see Abney active in in run stops and stuff like that I had seen before. So I was really kind of looking forward to that. He's a rookie. He got a lot of play on Saturday. He's going to take that. We're hoping he takes it to a learning experience. It's good that they're giving those opportunities. So like those snaps are really, really going to be valuable. I think it's anyone that thought that he was going to jump Izzy in for the nickel probably going to be a little disappointed. I think they gave him a lot more run just to get him reps. I think Izzy didn't play that much, even though that Reed and Rock played. So I take that more. I'm not looking at it as like Abney's above Izzy, and I just think that was just an opportunity thing to get him ready for the season, because I know he's going to make the roster. They just wanted to get him snaps. Any other players, Ash, that Jacob and I didn't mention that?
Well, no, but I completely agree with Second McLaughlin, and I think the team does as well, because I know they worked out two centers today. Sincere Hainsworth, the former Tulane center, and Gus Hartwig, who used to be the Purdue center. So I think the team very much agrees that, perhaps we need to look for better than Seth McLaughlin. We know, obviously, Rimson Ward winner with Ohio State, played for Alabama as well, was just a bit undersized for our scheme, and you could tell it, like, he just got bulldozed by Mo Hurst, who I know way back when he was in the draft cycle was seen as a first-round pick before the heart condition came out, but hoping for more, and for the team was, which is why we've worked out two centers, we've worked out two backs. We're looking to upgrade on some of our depth stuff, even if it's last week. So, as much as I was hoping for Seth, the writing might be on the wall. It might be, Scruggs, McLaughlin potentially to the practice squad, and then we just try and ride it out until Cade comes back and hopefully saves the day.
Yeah, I'm just glad that Scruggs didn't have any missed snaps. I know he didn't. I think he played like 14 or 15 snaps is what the starting O-line played, but it was encouraging that there wasn't any misplays. He didn't have any false starts. I mean, Seth just tell me that he's playing in his head that he had, when a center false starts, especially two in a row, that means it's something's going on in the head, because I mean, how can a center ever false start? Like, unless you don't know the snap count, and everybody, like, you got the snap count wrong. But like the one time he lifted the ball up and then realized that, like, he had the ball in his house. It was terrible. All right. This question is, which players are under the radar? And by what I mean is under the radar, not everybody's talking about him, or your average fan is not really thinking about this player. But what player have you seen that is going to make a difference that would be in that under the radar category? I'll start with you, Ash.
I think it's someone that was here last year, but with quite a kind of slips under the wayside with Thomas Harper. I know he didn't play in the preseason game because he supposedly got an injury, which is probably also why we've signed Jason Taylor, because you had Harper held out for that game. Dan Jackson supposedly came up injured towards the end of the game, and so we had to put Whiteside at safety. But Harper is a guy we picked off the scrap heap last year from the Raiders in cutdowns, where we infamously went with 50. Had to step in for Kirby after he went down in the Chiefs game and played really well. And then coming into camp this season, Chuck Clark's been getting most of the snap. Izzy's been getting all this praise for being able to be playing nickel corner and safety. You've still got Avonte Maddox, who had a great play in the game where he crashed down on that screen pass and absolutely blew up Craig Reynolds. They're kind of be getting all the plaudits. And Harper, who's someone who's a solid starter, can play both the single high role, the box safety role, can do too high as well. Kind of going under the radar for most people in terms of they're looking at the new guys who've come in, looking at maybe Kirby and Branch coming back, and he's kind of, while he's never probably going to be a 9 out of 10, he's solid 6/7 out of 10 level play where he can do everything to a good standard. That's what we want to need out of our safety 3, safety 4, especially while we wait for our stars to come back. He can do special teams as well. I know he didn't have the best game of it against the Bengals, but for someone who's sitting on the bench, you might need to plug him in the middle of a game for whatever role. He can do it.
Where are you at, Jacob?
Yeah, that was a good pick. I am going to go with Levi Onwuzurike, who has battled, he had the back injury before, and then he had the unexpected ACL injury last year and just missed the entire season. And I think a lot of people had just kind of forgot that he's even on the team. He has been off to, I think, a slower start, but I think that's been by design. They're giving him some work in practice, trying to get him back in there. He did play in the preseason game, and he's had limited action, but we know what Levi's capable of. And if he's fully healthy and if he's healed, he actually could play a big part on this defensive line. And I think that's awesome, because that is a 9 out of 10 player potentially if he returns to form and stays healthy. But that's my under the radar person that maybe shouldn't be under the radar.
Well, he's on there. People have overlooked him. You're exactly right. The injuries kept him off. That's exactly what I'm looking for. My guy is Greg Dortch. I had a very good view for one of his punt returns. Like, it was right in my side, right in my end zone. And it reminds me of a Khalif, like just that change of direction. Tom Kennedy's basically just running, he's going to protect the ball. But then I don't know why they ran it this way. I don't know why Dortch went second and Kennedy went first. It's clearly Dortch is going to be your punt returner. But I was like, oh my God, he's going to break a game. We are going to win a game on a special teams. That's one thing I fully came aware. Our special teams has played really, really good. And last year, if you remember, we kept getting penalties and just poor returns. And even that bled into the season, right? We had block kicks. We had, long returns that we were letting. That's how the Vikings got back. It's basically why we lost, the first game to them. Jackson Meeks, so you talked about earlier, caused a fumble on a kickoff return. But my guy Dortch, I don't know what they got for him in offense. It's been limited what we've seen. He's mostly running with the second team. He will get play with the first team. It's going to be like a Cleve Raymond role. I'm interested in how they're going to utilize him, and I'm really excited for punt return. I think it's very similar to what we had in Cleve, and we moved on from Khalif. We got a cheaper replacement that hopefully could do the same thing. But he was dynamic in that one return. He just broke guys' ankles, as my kids would say, and was able to get another 5 or 10 yards. And as Phipps say, we fight for every blade of grass. You'll hear him say that throughout the year, and he got a whole bunch of blades of grass on that one.
Yeah, he does feel like whenever he touches the ball, you're just waiting, he's gonna break one off.
He was back there on kick return too, but they kicked away from him. They kicked. I think Sailors was back there. I think they kicked.
Yeah.
And that's probably there. I'm assuming they're going to kick away from him, but I'll take Sailors back there too. Was it Blackshear back?
I don't think Sailors return kicks in this one.
He was back there. They kicked away from him at once. I think.
Because
I'm pretty sure it's Kennedy and Sailors to start the game. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It felt like Kennedy got most of the returns in this one.
He did, and Kennedy did exactly what you think. He's going to run straight up. But the second one, he ran right in the back of his blocker. The guy just got pushed right into him.
Yeah.
It just, didn't look like the same magic that he had last year.
True.
All right.
Kennedy's been found out, but I agree with Dortch. As soon as I saw him tuck it into the Shade and McCoy grip, I knew something good was going to happen.
I love that guy, man. I think he's gonna. I think he was a great signing. Jacob kind of touched on it earlier. I'll get your thoughts, Ash, and then I can get my thoughts on the QB situation. Do you think is Dobbs gonna make this roster for sure for you?
Probably, yeah. If he doesn't, it's going to be one of those handshake agreements that we always seem to have a couple of every year, where it's like, we're going to release you, but then we're going to put you on the practice squad and then bring you up, and then that kind of thing, because obviously it avoids the whole fully guaranteed thing, because with him being a vested vet, he's on the roster week 1, his contract becomes fully guaranteed, etc. And I think he's just got that enough grace with the coaching staff, having been on Pet Singh before, and perhaps the belief that if he's behind a fully competent offensive line, one that doesn't have Larry Bourman getting blasted from the blind side, he'll be able to actually stand and deliver the ball, and with better receivers, because, again, no offense to Tay Martin, Tariq Black, Dominic Lovett, and that, they're not exactly Amon Ra and JMO, are they? So I believe, it's probably going to be him. It's close, though. If it turns out next week that it's Luke Altmaier and Dobbs, is gone elsewhere, because you look at the status of some of the QB rooms around the league, like the Falcons, for instance, they've got a UDFA challenging not just for QB2, supposedly for QB1. That's how bad Tua and Penix have been, that Jack Strand is supposedly challenging to be QB1 for them. So at least we know that the grass is green over here. But I think it's going to be Dobbs, unless it's like one of those handshake agreements, and then he'll be on the roster by week 3 when we can get around the whole salary thing.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be Dobbs, but I think Altmaier's made it closer than anyone thought that it was going to be. And I think we talked about it last week, just his poise, and just like an example of his poise that I saw, there's clear as day to me. There was a screen pass that got snuffed out, and he did like a double, almost a triple pump to get it out. And my mind goes to Will Levis, and Will Levis would have just like gunned it right at the defensive lineman, or threw it, like would have made a terrible throw over the head, would have got intercepted. Like he would have been so flustered. Altmaier did not show that. Like that shows, that's for a UDFA in the second preseason game. That's pretty headsy. And I'm not saying that, he's ready to take over the offense or anything like that, but he shows me signs of growth that I want to keep him around, because like that's what you want from a competent backup, right? You want someone to be able to come in and not throw the game away, to be able to be in the moment and the moment not be too big for you. And I think he showed that a limited action. Now it's preseason, maybe regular season's a different ball game. When things start to count, maybe he's a little more relaxed now. We don't know that, but it is a good sign that he's able in his second professional game to be able to be calm and think on his wits and just be able to make the play. I know it didn't like gain a ton of yards, but it could have been easily been an interception, a ball knocked up in the air, and then, alignment brings it down. So that being said, he has not got a lot of points. He hasn't garnered a lot of points on offense, but I think that'll come. And I'm okay. I think that's the way to go. But anything else, Jacob? I know you talked about it, the QB situation.
Yeah, no,
earlier.
I talked about it earlier. I think I've spoken my piece.
All right. Our last thing that we're going to do before we get to the Honolulu Blitz is we forgot to get to Ash's rivalry jersey question. This is the 24th. Tomorrow is release day. So maybe while you're listening to it, you've already seen the design. I know that we're all excited for it. I'll give Ash, we haven't heard from you. What do you think we all feel like gray is going to be the primary color. Is that where
Yeah.
you're feeling, or you got another idea?
Yeah, we have to in our Discord. There we go. Sorry,
there you go. Start over.
Yeah, I think we've even guessed the name. There we go. Start over. Yeah, I think it's going to be Gray, especially after that teaser, which was also nice to see Calvin pop up in it. Nice that relationship's been mended. But yeah, I think we've even somehow on our Discord managed to figure out what the whole name is. Like, you've got the Motor City muscle for the black uniforms. This one's the 313. I think it's going to be called Concrete Jungle, based on the sort of grey. And then I saw a concept today that's kind of like a light kind of grey with white icy numbers. Does actually look really good. Like, it's close enough to this that it looks fashionable, but also it's different enough with the grey and the icy white to stand out and be different. So I'm excited for it, so long as it looks better than the rumored concept for the Packers, which looks like, when you just over toast a bit of hamburger cheese a bit too much, it's kind of that weird grizzly, like almost greeny brown. That's supposedly what theirs is going to look like. So at least, we don't look like a slightly melted bit of cheese on a hot dog.
I hope it's really bad, because at the NFC roundtable we can make fun of, we can roast Joey.
Doesn't matter. Whatever they come up with is going to be trash.
Exactly. Right? What do you think, Jacob? You think it's good? I think
I'm firmly on. I think it's got to be gray. My thing, I don't want there to be too many. There's got to be some sort of gimmick, right? Everyone has some sort of thing for the most part. If they don't drastically change the colors, then I think the Cardinals had like the specs on their jerseys and different things like that. I don't want it to be too gimmick. Like, I don't want lion claws or things like that. But like, the Tigers, the City Connect, how they've got like the tire tracks that you can't even really tell are tire tracks. It's just a design. If it's something mild like that, I think I'm okay with it. I just don't want it to feel too gimmicky. But I definitely think that gray, maybe like the blue outline numbers. I don't know. I don't want it to be primarily gray and black with like a light amount of blue. Mm-hmm. I still want the blue to be there. But I mean, there's a lot of things on the table, and I've seen a lot of different rumors, and a lot of people saying this and that, and I think it's got to be gray.
I think
otherwise they're not going to change it enough. If they make it blue, that's primary, but it's not our blue, then it's junk.
The only way I'd like it blue is if it was somehow like represented the Tigers, like you had a city, like some like the cross,
like a navy, like a darker blue.
Yeah, like that'd be the only thing that I could possibly accept, because I love Honolulu Blue so much.
I've seen those concepts where they're like, "Oh, we'll make the NFL and the MLB." Just looks wrong.
Yeah. I know it's one of those things that it looks wrong, but then you see it enough and you're like, I can get behind it. I'm Morgan suggested a gradient, like going from gray to blue, and I could get behind that. Mm-hmm. I'm with you, Jacob. I do not want to see big claws on there, and I'm afraid it's going to be there, because in the teaser trailer they show a big claw on the wall. Right. And
I thought about the helmet. If you put claws on the helmet, like I don't want them to change the helmet too much either. But
I don't think they're changing the helmet, right? I don't think the helmet. I think
they usually get new helmets.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the helmet could be completely different. It could be a silver lion, or like we could put claws or something on there. I don't know how I'd feel about changing the lion off the helmet. But if the claw marks are there, I'd rather them be on the helmet than on the jersey.
All right. I'm gonna change the question. Now, if it is something that you do like, Jacob, which player are you gonna buy?
Me and my kids don't have any golf jerseys, so we may go golf this time. We've got Gibbs, we've got Amon-Ra, we've got a couple Hutchinson. I'm not sure yet.
What about Ash? What are you going with?
Ash wants Jake Bates.
Close. I'm torn between two players. One's Tesla, just because I think it will look cool on the back, but the other because obviously I know, other than me having Goff on this one, and I guess Kirby on the Motor City one, but that was because I made a thing. Like on my home jersey, I've got Hogan Hatton. I think I'm the only person outside of his family to ever buy a Hogan Hatton jersey. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm torn between Tesla and Varkey, because
I've
got to stand for my special teamer.
Yeah,
I wish. I wish. I have checked. The NFL UK currently doesn't have Fox jerseys, which is fun.
Real quick,
Go.
WMW2 asked a question. That's something I wanted to mention because he says, I just want the silver to be done right. Hard ask, but it's what I got. But that was something else I want to bring up is would you be okay if it actually is like a silver, like a brighter, like a shine almost on the jersey?
I don't want to shine.
Yeah.
That's
versus,
what I don't want.
Well, like how the gray color rush, we had like, people called them the pajamas or whatever because it was like a matte gray before. So do you want somewhere in the middle of that or you want it to be like a shinier silver, I guess?
Shiny or silver is more of an accent thing. Like to do it like as the main color, I just don't know how you're going to do that right. And I'm not a designer. It could be done, but I can't think of a way to do it right. To me, if they're going to do gray, I think they can't do gray similar to like I have a Hutch, like the pajama jersey that you're talking about. I don't think they're going to just repeat that. So they're going to have to change that up, or they're going to have to add blue to somewhere like the sleeves
Blue
or something like
numbers
that,
something.
like above the shoulders. They could do like a blue up there. Kind of like the Cowboys have like those blue, like in their star. I don't know what jersey they are. They have the white with the blue out there. You could do something like that. I don't think they're going to do it, but you could have like one of those iced out jerseys, kind of like how the Vikings have, and I like those.
I thought about that. The Vikings and the Bills both have like the all white with like, it's just their logo outlined, the number outline. I actually do like the way that looks.
Yeah, I think that you get the helmet that matches that could look really cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we'll find out tomorrow, boys, and I'm sure if you keep tune us on Twitter, we'll let you know what we think, or at least our initial thoughts. Mine is subject to change after I see them. I've had initial thoughts on jerseys, not liking them, then I see them in play, and I like them better. So we'll see. Ash, I wanted to ask you before we get to Honolulu Blitz, Germany. Did you get tickets? Are you going for sure?
I'm going to be in Munich. The game tickets are TBC because unfortunately, we know people that have got game tickets, but they sold pretty much instantly. So the ones that have them now is if I do, like those sport break things where you book them in, I'd be right in the nosebleeds. So I'm going to do the typical European fan experience of these big things because it does happen quite a lot where you go and then hopefully on the day pay someone that suddenly can't go anymore for their ticket. But if not, I'm going to enjoy a couple of German beers, probably watch the game in Munich. Still probably get videos and that from like Matt and that who will be inside. But just enjoy the game day experience and hopefully, get to rag on some Patriots fans afterwards.
Okay. Well, if you have an internet connection, we might try to figure out something just to kind of live that experience with you, because that would be kind of fun. I know, obviously, your podcast comes priority, but if you got time to spare, we'd like to borrow some of that time. So. All right, Jacob, you ready to do this? Do the Honolulu Blitz? I'm going to let you do all of them, but we have a bonus question, and I'll do that one. So, all right, I'm gonna hit the video. I don't want to scare you. I want to scare you like I do.
It's time for the Honolulu Blitz.
All right, Jacob, let's go.
All right, here we go. First question for you. If you could bring back one retired Lion in his prime to help this team, who would it be?
Oh, considering the injury issues we have right now, give me Raiola. Let's fix that. Nice. Let's fix that center problem. Frank's the easy answer. Everyone wants to bring Frank back. Let's go a bit further back and get a bit more of a throwback center.
Nice. Hey, I like it.
Did not expect that one. I thought it was going to be Ragnow. I thought, well, not from you, but everybody else would be like, give me Barry, give me Kelvin, but no. Dan Pass showed up. Yeah. He's late
Chas
here.
is Ragnow.
Yep.
That's the easy one.
Yep.
All right, next question. Do Amon-Ra and J-Mo combine for more yards this year than they did last year?
I'm going to say no, because I think with obviously the incentives in Gibbs' contract, I think we're going to try and really get him involved in the passing game. Plus, hopefully with Sam back healthy, with a coach who surprises tight ends, look at Trey McBride in Arizona, I think they'll still be efficient. J-Mo might actually be a bit more efficient, but overall their yards will come down because the targets will be spread out more.
Agreed.
I'm going to interrupt you here, Jacob. Yeah. WMW2 has a great answer. Darius Slay. Putting him opposite out there increases quarterback depth, and then you got Reed and Slay. That's That's
That's
pretty
the
darn
color
good.
rush jersey I have is Slay.
Yeah.
That's my gray one.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see. The last true question before Jason's bonus question for you. How many undrafted free agents make this team? Or do you think none make it? So the big ones, Luke Altmaier, Eric Hunter, Anthony Lucas, Eric O'Neill, Amaris Brown, Melvin Priestley.
None of them do. I think the
Yeah.
closest would either be Altmaier or Eric O'Neill. Shout out to him, obviously, for the limited snaps he's had being productive. But yeah, I think that snap's going to get streak's going to get snapped again. Unfortunately, we'll probably get O'Neill, Hunter, and Altmaier onto the practice squad. But yeah, none of them making the 53, unfortunately, unless Hunter can pull it out.
All right. Bonus question time. Who would win in a fight, Ash Soden or Ashley Soden? Do you know who Ashley Soden is? Because I came across her today. I'm going to show you a picture. And so this is a visual one if you want to go to our live stream, or just Google Ashley Soden and you'll see it. But here you go, Ash. There's Ashley Soden. Do you think that you
God.
could take... She's like some sort of weightlifting champion.
You did Ash dirty with the picture you chose too. What?
I know.
It looks like he's already admitting defeat.
He is.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a picture from I think that's when me and my friends were watching this film. It was like me just being completely just be done with it. Oh yeah, because it was a film. It was me reacting to a rom-com with Paul Ruddin, and it turns out that the girls he's dating, her parents turn out to be neo-Nazis, and that's my reaction to that plot twist in the film. But
Nice.
yeah, it's 100. Unfortunately, I do concede defeat. I haven't been to the gym recently, so unfortunately, my counterpart will destroy me. Unfortunately, unless it's a sword fight, in which case I win because I've got this. Because I think a bit more experience with that.
All right, now. Here's a question for you, Jacob. Bonus question for you. Do you think all three of us could take her down, or do you think she'd kick all our ass?
It's just muscles, Jason. She's probably still like 5'1".
She's got.
He
muscles
showed this
for days.
picture, Ash. So he told me that he had this plan, and he showed it, and he's like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Dang, I don't know who that is. Like, I've never heard of her before."
Yeah.
And then he admitted, he's like, "Well, I've never heard of her either. I just put in Ash's name, and she came up."
Yeah, I was like looking for a good picture to put on the thumbnail, and then I was like, "Oh my God, this is Ashley Soden." So I thought that would be a hilarious question. So that's where it came from. My Dan Pask says Ash is dead.
Yeah.
Get you in a headlock, you're done. We're getting advice from Dan on how to fight her, bull rush. And then he admits, but she'd still win. Now, I will admit, Jacob works out. Like he says he gets up at 4 in the morning. So I feel like this is going to be a Jack the Reacher situation where we all go to confront her. She goes, it's 2-on-1. And then Ash goes, no, it's 3-on-1. And then she'll point to me and said, no, that guy's going to run away. It's 2-on-1. And
Nice.
But no. So thanks for indulging me in that, Ash. That's a fun little joke there. But we want to thank you for joining, Ash. What you guys got going on at Roar the Lions UK? You talked about your live stream for 53. What else you got going on?
Yeah, so I know Ant and Paul did their reactions to Saturday's game earlier. On Thursday, we'll be doing our 53-man projections, which is always a fun one because we then get into debates. Like last year, it was me versus Ant and Matt about Josh Pascal. We got into a heated debate about that. They unfortunately won, but hey-ho. Saturday, Saturday we'll be streaming for the game as well, hopefully. I'll be home from work, so if not, I'll be in the chat with you guys. And then, Sunday, me and Ant will be up when the 53 is announced, reacting to that, breaking it down, probably, as I say, commiserating Eric Hunter not making the 53. And then it's on to actual season previews. We'll hopefully have people on discussing all the games we have. So we're trying to get a famous TJ from the for the Saints to come on and talk for week 1. Great interview he is, and just into it then. And hopefully by then we'll have all our new stuff launched. much like you guys were going for a rebrand, new website, new graphics, new intro music, outro music. So hopefully this season, much like we're the Lions 2.0 under Dan and Brad, will be Roar of the Lions UK 2.0 with whole new music.
Awesome. Nice. Well, that'd be fun to look forward to. We want to thank you for coming on, Ash. You're always a great guest. You're always welcome to be back on here. We really appreciate it. And thanks for putting up with my my bad joke there, but it was fun to know.
So we won't ask if you can fight women anymore on any of these other shows.
Gotcha.
I know these Brits, they don't care about fighting women. They'll do it. They'll duke it out, man. All right. For Ash Soden, there's Jacob Litton. I'm Jason Harwood. Thanks for joining. We're going to hang around for in the live chat here for a little bit if you want to hang out with us. Otherwise, go Lions. That was fun, Ash. Thanks for putting up with me.
It's all right. I was not expecting that. I was like, hang on. Have you found like an alter ego? And then I saw that. I was like, oh my God. I looked it up. She can like bench press double my body weight. So I'm like, oh my, okay. Yep, she's one.
Yeah.
She's one.
Yeah, it was funny. I just it just popped right up. I'm like, oh no, it's in my search engine now. My wife's going to be wondering about me.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I'm not big enough. I'm not muscular enough for you, are you?
Yeah. Oh, like, no. This is what you're into now?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, pick me up. I could do, chin-ups with her arm. She holds her arm out, and I just pull myself up. But you're right. She's probably like 5'10" or something like that. It's hard to tell in that picture. Or 5'1".
I was going to say, I was thinking like 5'1".
Yeah, 5'1". 5'10" is me. Yeah, that would be.
Right. 5'10", maybe we just run.
Yep. Dan says she's a triangle. I will. So Jacob, and I'll tell you, Ash, I went to a thing called Burger Wars yesterday. It's in Monroe, which is like 45 minutes from here. My brother ran it. Jacob, you missed out, dude. It was awesome.
I've been seeing the pictures, man, and it's like, oh my God, I should have went to that thing. 5
or 6 burger places in there. You paid $20, and then you could eat as much as you want, and you would get like maybe a quarter of a burger from each place. They would give you on a tray, and then at the end you voted, and then the winner of the burger, whoever had the best burger, won. I had like 3 of them, and I was in a cornhole tournament at the same time, so I would just run over there and get food real quick. But what I had was really, really good. We are looking to live stream from there next year, which would be fun. So get your plane ticket now, Ash, and then you can come join us and eat some American burgers.
Get American cheeseburgers.
Hell
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was really good. It was amazing. What I'm also really proud is that my brother helped organize it. I mean, when he first told me, I don't think he even thought it was going to be this big, but they were like sold 1,200 tickets, which is unbelievable. And then they had like vendors inside there. Also, they had like, so kind of almost like a fair thing. They had some food trucks. They had like fresh lemonade. I mean, it was crazy. It was fun, but we're hoping to, like I said, live stream from there next year, Jacob, at the Monroe Fairgrounds. My brother called them this morning to try to like figure out the costs and everything like that. And they're going to have it. It'd be like twice as much space. It's crazy.
That, would be amazing. Hang on. You got to see WMW2's comment.
Yeah.
About your wife.
Find your wife in the kitchen at night with a giant wave routine.
It's like, that's what he likes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. And no, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. But it was really, really awesome. I really, really I've never even heard of anything like that. They also had like the burger guy from
that's where I saw it. Is he had posted a few things about it. I didn't even realize that it was Ryan that was doing it. I didn't realize that your brother was like the one that was because he wasn't posting it on his thing.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think that they hired the burger guy because they were going to use him for the marketing because that's his angle.
Right.
And I think that's what they did. Worked. But I think Ryan realized that he might not have to do that next year because everyone like the feedback,
the groundwork and
feedback was awesome.
But so that guy tried a burger at this place over by me, and I didn't even know that they sold like fresh burgers like that until I saw that he had reviewed that. And then like this parking lot's always empty. There's never anybody there. This guy tries a burger there, and the parking lot's full. And they're like, we haven't sold this many. We sold more burgers. Like I think they might have sold out. They're like, this is more than we've sold in like the last 2 months or something like that
Yeah.
in one day, just because that guy went there.
Yep. Well, he's also he went to Jazzy's and gave them crap, and then Jazzy's went out of business. So it can go the other way really quick.
Dang,
Too.
that's what happened to Jazzy's.
Yeah, it is. He ragged on him, and he's right. Jazzy's was like, I heard that their food truck was good, but in the restaurant I had was a really dry burger. It wasn't good at all.
Hang on, one more question before we let Ash go. Dan asked a good one. So Dan wants to know what was a favorite meal of Ash's when he came over for the draft.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Ooh, Slows. Last night, just me and Matt there. He got like the whole tasting platter thing. I got the American Dream burger. Oh, that was brilliant. I still have dreams about it. Coming back and just and having that. Like, I love barbecue, so that was like perfect. The Buddy's is really good as well, which is why I'm happy that over here, one of the food halls around us is a Detroit style pizza place. So whenever I'm in the area and I've got on dinner, go and get that. Though I don't get a discount for wearing Detroit style stuff because I always have like a Lions cap or a Tigers cap. They don't get it. No. I rock up. They don't recognize it. They don't give me any stuff for free. So corner house needs to get better.
Did you have any mozzarella sticks when you're over here? Jeremy Reisman's asking.
Potentially. Well, as long as he buys them, but I know that means then I'll have to do the karaoke of the Australian boy band he went to because
oh yeah,
nice.
God, actually he's going to be there in Germany. Oh no, what have I done?
Is he going to be in? Is he? I wasn't sure if he was going or not, but he had talked about it earlier in the season. But I didn't know if he was booking for sure.
I mean, that would be a fun trip.
I believe he said to us when we mentioned it when we last had him on that I think he's going over. So yeah, God, he's going to get me beers cheap and get me singing karaoke.
Sounds like a good deal, man.
True.
Oh man, what's your outlook on this season, Ash? I mean, we're not going to probably have you on before the season. What's your thinking? I'm
pretty optimistic about it. Like, I know obviously we've got to start without Cade, but the best interior defensive line we've got to come against is probably the Bills with Ed Oliver. As long as we survive to the bye, we're going to be okay. Like, I don't trust the Vikings at all. The Packers, but they've actually got to get a good wide receiver. I know everyone's believing in the Matthew Golden hype of them, but I don't see it. And then, the Bears are going to regress to the mean. So I think the North is ours yet again, and it won't be close. Hopefully it'll be done by my birthday in the middle of December so I can just relax. We can put Altmaier in then and just put all this tanks to the tank so we don't get into the division, the number one seed again, because we all know what happened last time we did that. Keep playing through the wild card and then make a run. Get that first Super Bowl in. I feel like this team is hungry again, and when they play like that, then I think good things happen. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the season. Going to Ford Field on Saturday was awesome in itself, but then realizing, okay, like 3 more weeks and I get to come back here and it's for real. My new seats are nice. I'm like one section over from Morgan, so that'll be a lot of fun. And hell yeah,
looking forward to all that. And we had our new seats are on the other side of the field, and it's where the Lions come out and play and practice and like get ready for get ready to play. So we could see them because I was always on the visitor side previously, and it's kind of nice because I could see, okay, if there's a question on who the starting line is, I'll be able to see really, really quickly. So I'm really looking forward to that. Dan Pass says the North feels like the Twilight Zone, but agree, Jason, agree with me about the hunger. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how there's so many wild cards this year. I just don't feel like the Packers are going to be that good, to be honest with you. I just don't feel it, but I could be dead wrong. I felt that way last year, and then Micah Parsons trade happened right after I predicted all that. So not that they're going to be
weren't that great last year, honestly.
No,
I mean we still, crap the bed. We still should have beat Minnesota. We should have beat Pittsburgh. Those couple games are different. Obviously, we beat Chicago. We handled business there. Yeah, the Minnesota ones are the toughest ones, but I don't think the Packers were I don't think they were that great.
I mean,
Even
that
with
was
the Micah thing, they were great with, or they had Micah on defense. Their defense looked great for a little while there. Micah gets hurt. We don't know when Micah's coming back.
Yeah, they've
October at least.
And they've lost Hafley, who was actually a semi-decent defensive coordinator, and have to gone to Gannon, the cover three merchants, the coverage we do the best against, because it's Amon Ross' speciality.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know how it's all going to break down, but I think the Viking, what if Kyler Miller plays well, but they lost so much on defense. I mean, Flores could probably make up some of that, but I question that. And I think the Bears are going to.
KOC's on the hot seat.
What?
I said KOC's on the hot seat. This quarterback thing's got them messed up.
Yeah. Well, JJ is obviously playing really bad, which it doesn't speak well for KOC getting him ready, because I don't feel like JJ was that, I don't think he was that bad. I don't know.
Right. You're supposed to, that's like your main thing is how well you can train up these quarterbacks. They let you get the quarterback that you assume that you wanted. You can blame the GM, whatever you want to blame the GM for, but we got you the rookie quarterback in there and it didn't pan out. Sam Darnold, you let Darnold walk. Darnold wins the Super Bowl. And now you're scrambling. Like, if you have another bad season like that, they got Kyler Murray, and now they've named Kyler the starter right away. If they have these quarterback controversies the whole time, or they have another really bad season, I could see where they just let KOC go.
You move Flores up, you make him the.
That's a possibility.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes from feeding Dan Campbell to being on the hot seat. I'm still so bitter about that. WMW2 has he's going to ask where my new seats ended up. I'm at 246, which is actually not right above the tunnel, but right next to the tunnel where the Lions come out. So
your seats are actually in the preseason, during the commercials, which I don't know if you rewatched the game if they showed. So during the commercials, when they show the far away view of the stadium, I swear the camera's got to be above where your seats are.
It may be.
It's from your section.
Okay.
Because the view on the thing is dang, that's exactly what Jason just sent me.
Yeah, I just sent you the picture. Yeah, they're nice seats. I like sitting at 200 level. I think I've spoke about that on the podcast before. I like being able to see everything. Also, there's only 12 rows in the 200 level, so when you want to go to the bathroom real quick, you could just jump right out and get right back. Whereas I think at the upper level, there's 20 some rows, and then you got to go down, and then you got to go down another set of steps. And then if you're in the bottom section, which obviously is closer to the field, there's 36 rows or something like that. So if you're closer, and it's a long walk to the bathroom. And so if you're going to get up at halftime, when everybody gets up, you're walking into a long line, because I don't go there to not watch the game. I watch every snap. It had to be emergency for me to miss anything. I just can't do it. The closest I came was when they were deciding in the preseason game whether Moore's was a fumble or not, because I knew it wasn't gonna matter at all at that point. So I hurried up to go to the bathroom before that, because it didn't matter. But even that kind of killed me. I was I kind of want to see what's going on, but I don't know in a regular season if I'd have left or not. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the worst. I told you about with the kids when we have to take bathroom breaks during the movie. It's bad when you're at a game or something and they have to use the bathroom. All right, fine. And then you go and then you hear the bat crack and everybody starts cheering. You're oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
What did I miss? Who hit it? It's even worse than football. The crowd starts going crazy and that could mean anything.
Yep. Yeah, you have no clue what's going on. And also Ford Field doesn't have TVs all around. Comerica at least has TVs all around, or even in the bathrooms, they got the radio playing. And
Ford Field's got the little TVs in the.
Yeah.
That's where we watched the Pistons game during the draft.
That's right. The worst draft party ever. Oh my God.
Right.
Terrible. It was good to hear when we were with those people. They said that this year's draft party was better. You could actually hear the draft, so they listened to us. Oh, WMW2 is the one that got my preseason. I didn't realize you were the one that got our preseason. I guess I forgot about that. So he got to use my seats last year because I think we had 2 home games. I only went to 1 and I gave the other one away to Pod. So yes, I hope that you like those seats because I really like those. We have a very similar view to what we have, but what's really nice is it's closer to Comerica Park. So when we want to leave at the end of the day, we could just go and just walk downstairs and we're out. We're beating a lot of the people walking out, and then getting there, I don't have to walk across the whole stadium in the concourse, which is very, very busy. Have you watched a game at Ford Field, Ash, or?
Not yet. I've been there for when we came over for the draft. We got in on day 1. The draft, we was on the field there, but not yet. It's on the bucket list. It was. What I'm saving up to do that is now going towards Munich. So hopefully next year, I'm hoping to do like what Matt usually does and what Ryan Farden, the first ever international fan of the year for us, does, which is go over Thanksgiving and watch like the Thursday Thanksgiving game, Michigan on the Saturday, and then stay for whatever the game is after Thanksgiving afterwards and get like a nice little stretch of that week.
Oh, nice. Well, that's cool. Well, if you need a place to stay, I'll let you stay. Matt, I just don't trust. So, no, just
True.
If you guys trying to cut down on costs, we could probably figure out something.
Cheers, well. Yeah.
I've
got to do it. Even I've said to my work, if the Lions win the Super Bowl, I don't care. I'm selling a kidney. I'm booking those days off and flying over. I need to be there for that party, even if I know it's when they say it's going to be like Philly level. Obviously not, burning the city, but I need to be there for that. We've got to break the record for Super Bowl party attendance. We need to.
Oh my gosh. I keep thinking of Dan Campbell talking at like the Super Bowl parade party and stuff like that. Like, what he would say and how fired up the crowd would be and just
keep manifesting it.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be so ice cold the day that parade happens too. It's going to be in the middle of February. It's going to be freezing cold, but there's going to be so many people out there.
You see WMW2 with another comment. It says, tell Ash I have to save up, and I only live in Grand Rapids. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm lucky. I've what you're saying about Dan Campbell. I've had a bit of that with my soccer team finally winning a trophy for the first time in my lifetime, and watching that victory parade with all the players still evidently drunk on the mic, saying their speeches. It was great. Now looking back at it a few months later, with most of the big players gone, like we're going through a mini rebuild, much in the same way we did when Dan came in, which is why we lost 4-0 yesterday. At least I know a tiny bit of happiness, but I know it's going to be 10 times better. You'll be Dan on the mic, Spielman on the mic, because I heard him on the preseason game yesterday because he was on for a bit talking during the third quarter, wasn't it, with Benetti and Lang. Getting to hear them properly speak would be great.
Yep. All right, I think that we can all answer. I think this question might be directed towards you, Ash, but I think we all can answer this one. So, Ash, we'll start with you. What other NFL WNW2 wants to know? What other NFL stadium do you want to go to?
Tampa's. I know it's off answer to know people. Exactly, I want to see I want to be where the pirate ship is, because I know. For instance, Matt wants to go to Allegiant in Las Vegas because he loves his poker. People probably want to say like Lambeau because of the history, Soldier Field before they move it to Indiana. But for me, I want a nice bit of sunny weather, and we always play down there. I still remember the Craig Reynolds block. So let's go watch where that happened in person.
Oh man, that block is so sweet. All right, Jacob. You got any stadiums a stadium that you want to go see?
No, I mean, I would honestly, it'd be one of those bucket list things. I'd like to just go see all of them. The Falcons, I've heard the Falcons have like a newer, really nice stadium that do things well down there. I've only ever been to, the Lions, and I went to a Cleveland Browns game. So I've only seen 2, but that was one indoor, one outdoor. So maybe the Soldier Field thing before they go, or when they're the Indiana Bears go for the first time, just to break that in.
Yeah, dig it.
I thought about trying to get tickets to go to Buffalo, like for that the Buffalo and Lions game, but obviously that's as astronomical as trying to go to a game in Detroit right now, just because too many Bills fans trying to get there.
Right,
and it's supposedly really bad.
Right, I've heard.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting what when the fans get in there, what they say, and they're probably gonna be jaded a little bit because of how much costs. Like this, they're the highest, obviously the highest
Yeah.
ticket right now. I think the Lions were 6th or whatever. I think the Eagles are ahead of us. I don't know who else, but
Yeah.
as far as a stadium that I'd want to go to, I mean, I know it's cliche, but the Lambeau thing, I really missed out on the Lions' last game there in 2022. Missed out on buying that because tickets were so cheap, and we almost thought about doing it. I don't really. I mean, the Tampa one does sound cool just because of being outdoor, but it's pretty. It's going to be good weather down there. Minnesota looks pretty cool, although I don't want to hear everybody doing skull, so that kind of sucks. But I kind of think that'd be a drivable game that you could go to. The Raiders Stadium in LA, and the Cowboys are obviously other two answers. That LA Stadium I heard is pretty awesome, and then Cowboys. You can actually get decent tickets for the Cowboys. I've seen for a price, but I don't know like how big.
Because it's so big and there's so much
Yeah.
standing room.
Yep.
Yeah.
WW2 says he's at 3 stadiums. Atlanta is on the list this year.
Hey, all right.
There he
Well, let
goes.
us know if it's as good as I've heard.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably save a lot of money on concessions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Oh, Dan says Levi's was great for one half.
Yeah.
Oh,
see.
you're true.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Dan being a troll.
Oh, there it is.
Dan, that's my job. I'm supposed to bring everybody down. Let's talk about Christmas.
Yeah. All right. We're done here.
We're done. All right. I know this is pretty late for Ash, so I think we're getting ready to take off here. Chat, you were great. See everybody on Thursday. Ash, thank you so much for staying up late. We had a good time as usual.
Same. It was definitely worth it, and as I say, I'll do it anytime.
Yeah. Anytime. All right. You heard it. Last second, we're getting Ash on here. Dan was at the thing or the Levi Stadium. Oh my god, I didn't realize
That's so much worse.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It was bad enough being
the
at the
high that
Commanders
everyone
game.
felt at home and the low that everyone felt at home, being at the stadium and having to leave the stadium like that when it was right there. God.
Well, and then we heard from other fans too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed this question we had real quick. AS Eagles 64 says, "Go Lions! What do you predict the first play in offense to be this year?" Gibbs run up the middle, golf pass.
Get it in Gibbs' hands.
Yeah, gotta be Gibby.
I wouldn't be opposed to just throwing deep to J-Mo the very first play. Play action, throw it deep, just
Oh,
but
I think
mine's
it's play action. Yeah, I think it's play action. I'm going play action, and whether they go deep or not, it might be play action right back to Gibbs. Just get him go out in the flat and let him take it to the house. Who knows? Have J-Mo run side by side, and then they could have the true race. That's what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Last year's first play, Jahmyr Gibbs left end for 1 yard.
Yeah,
God.
That's about right. If he runs off the left side, he's gonna get more than 1 yard. Panay's gonna be out there pushing people back at least more than 1 yard.
All right.
I'm gonna end the stream. We'll see everybody back on Thursday.